Some may say he was a blues-influenced rock player, and some may say the exact opposite. But it's in that blurry line between the two where Gary Moore played with a drive that few players could match. There's a lot to be learned from this legend, and there's plenty of stuff you can get from his playing and incorporate it into yours. There are many aspects you must consider if you want to study his style, and in today's video I'll try to compile what I think are the most important characteristics of his playing, and also share some examples from the man himself. His unique style combined very effectively vocal-like lines with super fast but still soulful licks. That means passion plus technical skills, a combo you won't find very often. So let's start with the technical skills and what aspects of his technique made Gary Moore such a gifted player. You'll find fast hammer-ons and pull-ups runs in many of his solos, sometimes a few notes on a couple of strings, and sometimes more complex and longer runs. Here you have a few exercises to practice this style of runs. Gary Moore didn't rely on alternate picking for his fast runs, so a solid legato technique is crucial if you want to learn his more complex stuff. The next technical aspect is the unusual fingering. He preferred to use his middle finger for a lot of sections where we would traditionally use other fingers. This is the Django Reinhardt way of playing, and even when Django developed this technique out of necessity, Gary Moore proved that it can be very useful. Here's an example. What I mean by using the middle finger is that he will play, for example, in the pentatonic scale, the 6th and the 1st string with his ring finger, and then the other strings with his middle finger. He played licks like this. Also bend the 2nd string with this finger. For example, a lick like this, he would play like this. This is something you'll see in many of his licks. I'm not saying you should necessarily change your finger into this one, but give it a try. Along with his unique vibrato, Moore used the bending technique in a very expressive way, and is one of the key elements of his style. One very important thing is Moore's absolute knowledge of the pentatonic blues scale. And by this I don't mean knowing the positions or the boxes, but knowing how to play it in a musical way, how to create stylistic phrases with it, and most importantly, how to express yourself through it. And when it comes to expression, Gary Moore was king. He played with sensibility and emotion, and he made every note count. So what can we learn from that? Well, let's start with the vibrato. The vibrato, in my opinion, is the player's signature. It's what's unique to each player. So this is probably one of the most difficult aspects to copy. So instead of trying to copy someone else's vibrato, try to find your own way of doing it. And one way to do this is focusing on one particular note and try to express as much emotion you can through it. Feel it, don't just play it. Do your best to express something through that note you chose. Own your notes, don't treat them with fear or care. Tell yourself and the other how you feel through your notes, and your playing will improve exponentially. Go watch any of the Gary Moore live performances, for example the Montreux Jazz Festival from the 90s, and you'll get what I mean with all of this. There's a great interview from 2004 where he shows his approach to playing, and I want to show you some of the examples that he plays. But before that, let me quote exactly what he says in the interview. Take a simple phrase and then learn it and go over it. Play it really slowly, but really listen to what you're playing. Don't just say, well, these are the notes and I got it now. You have to actually get into it and say, how am I going to play it? How is this going to sound like me? Otherwise, it's just notes, and anyone can play notes. Basically, he says that you should take a couple of notes and see different ways of playing the same note. Something like this. You can play also like this. A musical balance between expression, soul and speed is what made Gary Moore one of the best players of all time. And that's something to learn from. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.